Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Ziamko, the MultiDimensional MD. Thank you so much for watching. Today, I'm going to be talking about living your truth. I thought this would be a great thing to go over for episode 111 of the MultiDimensional MD, because my mission is to help you develop your intuition so that you can access deeper healing. And I just got back from a cranial osteopathic conference in California this past weekend. And each week I will sit down and meditate on what's been going on around me, what I've seen, and what inspires me, what I've learned. And then when I come in here on my live stream, I want to share that with you in hopes that helps you in some way too. So today we're going to take a deep dive into this topic. It's a bit more soulful, but it has so much to do with healing. What you might think, like, what does living your truth have to do with healing? And for me, it's everything. It's everything about your health. It's a much bigger perspective, but it really creates like this whole universe of what it means to be healthy and living your health and living your truth. So I'm going to go through four ideas about this. The first is, what is your truth versus what is not your truth? So truth versus untruth. The second is how to tell the difference between your truth and what's not your truth. And the third is how to return to your truth. And the fourth is, we're going to sum it all up, how to live your truth. And I'm going to give you a mantra to help you with that. So the first point I'd like to make is truth versus not truth. What is your truth? So for me, when I'm talking about your truth, is that you are a divine being of light and love. We're all divine beings of light and love. So anything aside from that is not true. So an untruth could look like feeling that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy of love, that you need something from the outside to feel that you're worthy. And I'll give you an example of this. Like when I was growing up and even through college and medical school, I used to feel that my truth was tied to my grades. And fortunately, I usually did pretty well with my grades. I went to Harvard, I went to Emory Medical School. But the problem was that if I didn't make a good grade, then I felt like I wasn't good enough. And that might sound silly, but it's silly when you look at it in someone else because you can see that how amazing they are. But then when you feel it for yourself, when a small thing happens and you feel down about it, you see how we kind of get caught up in that silliness. So in truth, I am light and love, and I can learn to be anything. And start to hear that echo of like that growth mindset we've talked about in other live streams. So the same feeling might happen. It's like if you feel like you're let down or rejected by someone, you might get your feelings hurt by or feel bad about what someone said. That's okay, because in truth, it doesn't change the magnificence of who you are. You can hurt and still be a divine being of light and love. Feeling is part of your humanity. So you can have a rainbow, a spectrum of feelings, and you're supposed to because you're a human. And so you don't have to be afraid to feel. We want to keep our humanity always through this experience. So the second thing is, how do you tell the difference? I mean, we kind of define like truth versus untruth, but then how do you tell the difference? So this reminds me of the class I just taught about how to read your heart. So part of knowing what your truth is and what your truth isn't, or how to tell the difference between, is to feel in your heart, because the truth will set you free. When you know, when you feel, when you understand, when you live your truth as this divine being of light and love, then that will set you free. That will liberate you. So, how will you feel that? You'll feel that as this heart expansion or a field expansion of your energy field. So, you'll feel like limitless, like just like your being just feels much lighter and bigger and more joyful and peaceful and more content. You'll be in the flow of your life with your truth. So there'll be an ease to things. Like as you step through the day, there'll be an ease to how you let things unfold. With an untruth, you will feel a stuckness, a sense of pressure, of being contained, being more limited. So you'll feel some sort of contraction in your body, this heaviness, this weight that people feel on their chests, on their shoulders, and wondering like what else is out there. Like it's always this constantly seeking because you're not living in your truth. When you're in your truth, you know you're already enough. You're more than enough. You're magnificent. And so when you're in living in the untruth, it's like you're seeking, you're looking outwards for what can fill that for you. And you can do many experiments through your day. I encourage people to do this, and this is how I learned for myself too. So I would just set up mini experiments through my day of um and you could try it out now. Like how do you feel when you think or you say to yourself like I'm not good enough? How do you so you know, for me, if I say that, it's like, oh gosh, I feel like this weight, or it doesn't feel good. It feels negative and feels like something's like pulling me, pushing me like a pressure inwards. And then you can imagine, how do you feel when you say I am light and love? Or you could say I can learn, or no matter what happens to me, I am worthy of love. And we say that, you feel it. So you feel this expansion in your heart, or at least that's what I feel, and it feels lighter. And you feel that there's like an ease to your breath, to your thoughts, to your movement, even. And so that's my puppy. So, number 3, how do you return to your truth? So we went over like defining your truth versus untruth, how to tell the difference in that, how that feels like difference. And so you're wondering now, like, how do you return to your truth? So I like to keep things simple because it's like if you take simple steps and do them consistently, then you get so much depth out of living. So one easy thing you can do is to spend some time in nature. So I'm going to throw this ball for my puppy. 1 second. So you can spend some time in nature, because nature, we are our the health in us is that natural rhythm of nature. So the more you spend time in nature, it will teach you your truth. It will teach you that, it will remind you that you are this divine being of light and love, that you are part of that oneness with nature. And what I love to do is just even like put my arms around a tree, or put my back up against a tree and feel that flow in the tree, and let yourself kind of melt into the tree so you can experience that oneness of being with other beings. And a tree is ever so patient. It flows with the seasons. It flows with the storms. And so even though the rains and the winds can come, the tree can like sway and stand and stay strong with it. And so you get to experience that when you touch the tree, when you put your back up against it and let yourself melt into that, and know that you have that kind of strength and trust and patience in you as well. You get to feel the stillness of nature, but it's like this dynamic stillness because it's ever changing and ever flowing with the time, with the seasons. And in doing that for yourself, what happens is that you get to start to see, feel, know, understand the truth in others. It doesn't mean that you don't have hardship or negative feelings. It means that you love and accept yourself completely despite that. And when you can do that for yourself, then you can more easily do that for others because you see they are mirroring that light and love within you. So you can do another mini experiment. And what you can do, since you're watching this right now, maybe you're outside and you can do this actually physically with your back up against a tree. But if you aren't outside, then simply imagine it, because your imagination of it can be the same thing as actually physically doing it. So imagine stepping up to a tree and putting your back up against the tree. And you can do this with me, and we'll step into that vibration of the forest together. And you can breathe in that fresh, clear air out in nature. And you can feel the flow of the tree, because even though it's still, it's growing constantly. It's taking the water in from the roots below, so that water is flowing up through it and taking the sunshine through the leaves or the needles, and that's being nourished from above. And so that's happening to you too. So you're being nourished from above, from the heavens, and you're being nourished from below by the earth, and the tree is reminding you of who you are. So you can return to your truth every day. At first, it can take some conscious effort, especially if you're not used to living there. But over time, your mind will catch up and catch on to this idea and relish in the ease of living in your truth. So then your mind, body, spirit start to become more in line, more on that same page. But your mind needs like these gentle reminders, just stepping into that ease day after day, moment after moment. And then over time, it will start to become second nature. It really is your first nature, but it feels like you've forgotten it. So give yourself those reminders. So the fourth point I wanted to talk about is how to live your truth. So summing this all up, because so often when the mind is looping, it's like this constant hamster wheel, or it can feel like you're just on this treadmill of life. And the thing is, when it's going like this, these are those subconscious thought patterns or patterns of living. Once you are aware of it, then you can choose, do I stay there or do I step off of it? And there's ways that I can help you to shift those subconscious patterns. But even just being mindful of it, being aware of it, once you see the loop, can you choose to step off of it? And how do you do that? Well, first you have to you have to see yourself, accept yourself completely, love yourself completely. And how can you do that with ease? Like, how can you do that efficiently and without trying? As soon as you start trying to accept yourself completely, it's kind of strange. It's like that paradox. It's like, then you're not, right? Because you have to try to do it. Really, it's about letting yourself be. So I'm going to leave you with this mantra. Throw this ball one more time. So what you can say to yourself is an I am mantra, because words are powerful, and the I am words in particular has this vibration that really help to open up, light up your whole being. So the mantra is, I am that I am. And you can put your hands on your heart. Where you place your hands helps bring your awareness there. And you can take a big breath in and sigh out. And the next time you breathe in, say or think to yourself, I am that I am. And 2 more times. I am that I am. And once more, I am that I am. This is a quick way to state who you are and to say that you love and accept yourself as you are. And the vibrations of those words are powerful. The vibrations of those thoughts are powerful. The vibrations of those feelings of that I am are powerful. And the vibration of love is powerful. So that is how you step into and live your truth moment by moment. So I hope that has helped you in some way. And I hope you can hear me over Dumpling, my puppy here. Lots of love to all of you. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where you're from. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about today, if you have anything you would like me to talk about in a future live stream, I'd love to hear from you. You can also connect with me on Instagram at All Worlds Health, on Facebook at All Worlds Health and Pediatrics, and on my website, you can sign up for my e-love letters. I send them out once a week on Wednesdays, and that is allworldshealth.com. So lots of love to all of you. I will see you next week at 11 a.m. ET. Have a beautiful rest of your week. I believe in you, so I hope that you believe in you too. Bye.